To MOR, the foundation examination, sample exam questions. A little bit about One World Training. One World Training is a global training, business simulation, and training company having its offices in USA, UK, the Netherlands, India, and other parts of the world. We provide training in IT, business management, project management, and various other standards for both individuals and organizations. We deliver courses in different ways. We offer public classroom-based trainings, online e-learning, blended approach, and even provide trainings to on-site teams for both private and government organizations. And we are an authorized training center and endorsed by leading global professional bodies. And at the bottom, you could see a few of our endorsements. About the sample examination questions, you would need to attempt 75 questions, and 5 of the 75 questions are trial questions, and they do not contribute to your overall score. There is only one correct answer per question. You have 1 hour for this paper, in other words, 16 minutes, and then 75 questions to add this. You must get 35 or more correct answers to pass. So let me take you through the questions, and as I go through the question and after I read the question, you could pause for a while, evaluate the options, and then choose a right answer, and then replay back for a rationale for that answer. So let's kind of begin the questions. Question number 1, which statement describes a goal of the identify context step? Correct answer is A, obtain information about the external and internal factors that may affect the planned activity. If you remember, we kind of talked about various steps in the risk management process. For your quick recap, here are the following steps. The first step is identify. Within identification, there are a couple of sub-steps. We identify the context and we identify the risks. And then we have assess. Again, within assess, you have a couple of sub-steps. You estimate and you. Then we have the plan step, and then we have the implement step. And then finally, communication is something that we do throughout the life cycle of the risk management process. So good to kind of know the goals of each of these steps. Maybe a quick revision might help. Let's move on to the next one. What is the definition of a risk? Correct answer is C. It's an uncertain event, and if that event should occur, there's an effect on the achievement of objectives. So the two key ideas over here. One is uncertainty. Usually in the world of statistics, we use the word probability or likelihood to present uncertainty. And then effect, we could call that as impact or consequence. So risk is a factor of probability times impact. So good to kind of know the definition of risk. Let's move on to the next one, question number 3. Which is the purpose of the strategic perspective? The correct answer is B, ensuring business success of the organization. Please keep in mind there are 4 perspectives. One is the strategic perspective, the other one is the operational perspective, and then you have the program perspective and the project perspective. Good to kind of remember that these are the various perspectives. Move on to question number 4, which is identified by the use of the pestle analysis and SWOT analysis techniques. Answer is A. These are usually tools that could be used for evaluating external factors that may affect the organization's objective. By the way, PESTEL stands for political, economic, social, technological, legal, and environmental analysis. And SWOT stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats of an organization. The next one, question number 5. Which is a primary outcome of the fits the context principle? The answer is A. You would be asked a lot of questions in the exams on the outcomes of a particular principle. So good to be familiar with the outcomes, the primary outcomes of each of the principles in the framework. Now, the outcome from satisfying the principle of designing the risk management approach, so it fits the context, is that money is not wasted on either an over-engineered approach or an approach that cannot deliver effectively risks posed by the external and internal environment within risk capacity and appetite. Move on to another question, question number 6. Which document is not central to the creation of an MoR approach? The correct answer is D. Lessons learned report is an input to the identified context step and is not one of the central set of approach documents. Question number 7. Which is the benefit of effective risk management? Answer is C. Exploiting opportunities identified during an activity. Risk management. Effective risk management is likely to improve innovation and therefore performance against objectives. Opportunities should be exploited so as to maximize the likelihood of realizing associated benefits. Question number 8, which is not a common barrier to implementing the steps in the risk management process? Correct answer is B, lack of appropriate responses to risks in the risk register. Not having an appropriate response may mean that the risk is tolerated. It is not a barrier to implementing the MoR process steps. Question number 9, what is the definition of risk capacity? The risk capacity is C, the maximum amount of risk that an organization can bear. Question number 10, in which step is the risk register used to calculate the total risk exposure faced by the activity? The answer is C. If you remember, when we talked about the assessment step, we looked into the thought that there is the individual assessment of each of the risks, and then there is this total risk exposure, which is part of your evaluate step. The aggregated risk exposure is calculated and recorded in the register during the assess evaluate step. Let's move on to the next one, please. Question number 11. Which is the use of a risk maturity model? Correct answer is C. Making incremental improvement in risk management practices is a use of risk management maturity model. The purpose of the risk management maturity model is to provide a well-structured and detailed guide to facilitate the progressive incremental improvement in risk management practices.